I'm in. Before I had to self-isolate with COVID, I 3D printed a cool looking skull at work. It's a very easy print. It prints in one go without any supports, giving us this, which is nice. And
the lid opens.
It top opens. And we 3D printed a brain. Now all this was influenced by, I was running around in Elder Scrolls Online, I was in a delve, came across a skull, and this skull was particularly cool because he had glowing green eyes, and I thought, oh, I want one of those. So I've made the skull, and now I'm going to make in some eyes. The plan is, I'm going to make some eyes using resin. I'm going to try playing with like green flecks and green colouring inside the resin. It should be a clear resin, so we'll have a clear eye, hopefully with some greeny bits in there. And then I'm going to put some red LEDs in as the pupils. Got to drill a hole through the inside, and I was going to put a wireless receiver in there so you could put it on like a Qi charging mat and the eyes would light up, but I'm struggling to get that to work. So instead I've got to work out a way of making the eyes, running the cables through, getting the cabling inside, and I'm going to put it through Foramen Magnum, and it'll be a USB charging thing at about 5 volts, something like that. Right, so eyes today. They're a bit fiddly to go together. When they do go together, so it seems to be, if I'm squeezing it like that, it doesn't want to pop apart, but if I squeeze it like that, it falls apart very easily. So I guess when it's got resin in it and it's pushing out, it'll stay together, or this might all be a horrible mess, I don't know. One of the reasons for using the resin is so that we can actually cast the LEDs inside the eyes. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'll push it through the hole. It's already going a bit thick and gloopy. I'm going to let it it's just settling on the bottom. It's
perfect so far.
We'll just try it and see what happens. Come back in 2 days time and we'll peel that apart and see what it looks like. I have actually got other dyes. I want to make other eyes, or I did. I don't know if I still do or not.
One's too many.
We'll have a think about making some. Now we know how it works, we'll just think about making a tool to pour it, or buying a syringe of the right diameter to pour it. I've got COVID, very mild, you know, vaccine kept the symptoms down, hardly any symptoms at all, but I lost my sense of smell. And my sense of smell is coming back. I only lost it for a day or so, but I can smell something that doesn't exist. I can smell a smell that I've never smelled before. I can smell a smell that's not a real smell. I can smell a smell that doesn't exist in the world, that I've never smelled before and probably nobody else can smell before, and it's kind of chemical, it's kind of burnt, it tastes like dark, sorry, it smells like a tart, dark, browny black, which is what this coffee looks like. So right, so there's a background smell, not really smelling anything. Now if I put the coffee in my nose, I can smell, so my smell detectors are on, they're detecting chemicals and sending that information to my brain. But it does not smell like coffee. It smells like that. There's this like one smell. There's one smell for everything. Smell off, smell on, smell off, smell on. Very weird, very interesting. And guess what? Guess what the topic is on the medicine programme this week? That's right, it's nose week. Typical, isn't it? But I can taste my coffee. My coffee tastes like coffee, thank God. Looks like the reason for this is, and we were teaching this on Monday, this isn't a new thing with COVID-19, this is something the coronavirus is, it's just something they do. The cells in the nose, you've got your neurons that detect smell. It's not those guys that are being affected, it's all the support cells in the epithelium around them. They're being attacked by COVID. Those cells have the ACE2, what's it called? Angiotensin converting enzyme 2 receptor on the surface, which is how COVID gets inside the cell, right? So it's those cells that die, which is a good thing because the cells of epithelium, respiratory epithelium, they can grow back quite quickly. Days later, so we're going to check out the resin eyeballs. And I put some gloves on because the resin's quite thick, so I want to make sure that it's gone completely gone off, but it should be fine. Are these going to be awesome eyeballs, or am I going to need to make some more? Are they going to fit in Skully boys' eyes?
I think they're going to be good eyeballs.
We're going to have a layer that we need to sand down. Well, not really, because it's going to be hidden. Oh, it's got a little. That is a little, yeah.
That's brilliant. That's really clever.
So that's got quite a hollow in the back, but that's absolutely fine because I might need a bit of space at the back anyway.
It's lovely. It's very smooth. There's no bubbles in that at all. It's really lovely. Oh, and that one.
That is
oh,
that's actually quite close to.
Brilliant.
That's quite close to what I was looking at in my Elder Scrolls Online skull.
Oh, that's so cool.
I don't know what I was expecting. Did it go better than expected? I don't know, but I think it went. That's really cool. That's really nice. I like that.
Better than I thought they'd turn out.
The next thing is let's breadboard these up and see if they light up and see what they look like when they light up. Right? You're trying to make a circuit and you're wondering whether your circuit's going to work and how it's going to work. You can plug everything into a breadboard to test it before you solder and wire everything up. So you run electricity into one side, through your components and the circuit you're trying to build, and out the other side, and then you see if it works and you can test it and what have you. You can see I've been testing a couple of LEDs, got a resistor in here. So I want to put, these are in here, I've got some little reed switches and some little super little tiny magnets. So this is a normally closed reed switch, so there will normally be a current running through it. When the magnet is up against it, the switch opens. I think that's right. Is that the right way around? This is why we have a breadboard to find out. Or is it normally open and it closes with the magnet? Anyway, I can't remember.
I think it's open.
I was probably I was thinking about it properly at the time, but the idea is then that I put the reed switch in here somewhere, and when the skull is closed, when the skull cap is on, the magnet is next to the switch, the eyes light up, and then when you open it and you pull the magnet away from the reed switch, the circuit should open and the eyes go off. That's the idea. Let's see if I got it right. And then I put the magnet up against the switch.
It turns them off.
It turns them off. Pull the magnet away and they're on. off. So the magnet's got to be a certain, it's got to be in the right position. So that means there are two solutions. One, get the opposite reed switch, the normal, I don't know, whichever, or just pretend you meant to do it the other way around all along, so that when you open his skull cap, then his eyes light up. That sounds equally amazing.
It is, because you want to see his brains anyway,
So,
don't you?
his eyes light up because you've opened his skull cap. We'll do that. I remembered what I did. I actually bought those reed switches for another project. Not where the optic canals are. Quite pleased with my new Skully desktop companion. You can see the reason for the short USB cord now is because it's going to plug into whatever monitor he sits under. Well, that kept me out of mischief for a few days of my COVID isolation. Quite fancy having a go at some more eyes, maybe printing out a bigger skull, maybe making some bigger eyes, maybe layering the resin so I can make irises. I don't know, just a bit of fun. Okay, we've got 2 more days of isolation left, and then I'm going to be allowed back out into the world again, which means that tomorrow I've got to teach from home. So I've got to rig up all these computers so I can teach anatomy and embryology remotely, doing some funkies. Right, I'd better crack on.